how's it going? Cole here, North Coast Constrictors. Welcome back to the channel. I realized just now I haven't made a video in nearly 10 days. It's going to screw up my algorithms. I'm in here in the snake room. I'm cleaning. It's Monday night. I've been up at in Johannesburg just for the SOS Reptile Expo, which they have once a year. I flew up on Saturday morning and I flew back on Sunday morning. The expo's 2 days. Unfortunately, I could only attend one day. But I went up there specifically. It was my very first reptile expo. I wasn't going to go this year. I had plans this weekend. But then I heard Kevin McCurley was going to be there, and Kevin is like literally my hero in the reptile industry. So I made a plan and I changed a few things around. And I jumped on the aeroplane very early on Saturday morning, flew up to the expo, spent the whole day there, met Kevin, had a chat with him. I wish I could have spent more time with him, but already he gave me more time than probably what I deserved. There were so many people trying to, obviously meet and greet. Yeah, Kevin, thanks for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. Guys, whoever was at the expo, and if I met you at the expo, it was great meeting you. There were a lot of guys that I'd met that I've only known through social media. I'd never actually met them in person, other breeders. It was actually great to meet you guys finally. To those breeders that I already know and have dealt with and bought snakes that had a stand there, guys, well done. It was also awesome seeing you. I must make a shout out to some guys. I forget your name now. I've not your names. I think there were about half a dozen guys that came up to me and were like, "Hey, how's it going?" And "How you doing?" And I stood there like, "Who you?" Thinking like it's someone from school from 27 years ago. I'm 47 years old now, so 30 years ago, and I'm thinking, I can't remember this person, and I wasn't being rude, I just didn't know who you were. And then they said to me, no, we watch your YouTube channel, so you're obviously watching this and you know who you are, or you guys know who you are because you came and introduced yourselves to me. I'm sorry I acted like a total fucking, like I didn't know who you were. I'm not used to that. I didn't think anyone would recognize me from my YouTube channel, so it was my very first expo, and it's the first time any people have ever approached me and said, "Hey, we know you from YouTube," because I've fucking just South African and I've got just under 750. I think I'm on 749 subscribers. I'm trying to hit 1,000. Fuck, I'm trying to hit 1 million. Okay, let's dream big. But to those guys that actually watch my channel, subscribe and came to me and introduced themselves, you guys are legends. Thank you. I really appreciate you following me, subscribing to this channel, and actually coming up to me and saying, "How's you made me feel very important," although I'm not. I'm very, very stoked that you guys enjoy my content, because all of you said you really like my content. I guess you would, otherwise you wouldn't subscribe and you wouldn't come and say hello to me either. Anyway, but yeah, massive shout out to you guys and thank you. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, do us a solid and hit like and subscribe, because you won't be disappointed. This is a shit hot YouTube channel. I'm one of the only South Africans. I'm not the only South African that has a YouTube channel. There are other South Africans that have got YouTube channels, but I know one or two of them, and they're way more successful breeders than I am, like in the top in the world even. I can't mention names, I won't mention names, but if you're in the ball python industry, and you just got to go and kind of check who's South African has a YouTube channel, is one of the best breeders in the world. And then there are other breeders in South Africa, in this country, that should have a YouTube channel and that are literally in the top 10 breeders in the world. And that I know that you guys, we mates, and you watch me and you don't have a YouTube channel, and you guys are absolute legends, and you should be out there and on social media, on YouTube, doing what I'm doing now with, like this much compared to what you've got in your collection. Guys that I'm proud to call my friends now, guys that I've met in the industry, and I have bought many a snake from now. I've become a regular customer for some of these guys. I'm focusing very much on high-end snakes at the moment. I know the market is really bad at the moment, but I don't see that as, it is negative for sure, but I'm at the stage of breeding now where I'm buying and producing and building up to selling. I've got projects on the go, projects that are 3, 4, 5, even some that are about 8 years. It's going to take 8 years to make what I envision in my head, envision, what the fuck am I saying? What I see in my head, I know is probably there are some crazy combos and snakes that I want to make, that I think when I combine, I'm not even going to tell you, because you're going to probably think that I've taken a very large amount of drugs before I made this video. But I do believe that there are some combinations that I'm working on that are gonna just blow people's minds away. And then obviously I've got popular stuff that guys are doing already, but that I'm throwing a little bit of a twist into it, which is going to take probably 4 to 6 years to do. So it's already existing morphs that are very popular, but I'm taking some of them and I'm throwing a little bit of this and a little bit of that in there. So guys, I was cleaning up now and I wanted to make a video because I was doing an Instagram reel while I'm doing my hatchlings. I'm cleaning all my hatchling racks at the moment, and I thought, let me make an Instagram reel, and I realized I hadn't done a video in 10 days, 9 or 10 days, and my algorithms are going to get stuffed up. So I thought, okay, let me make a video. So last time, shout out to all you guys that did the expo. You all legends. All your stands were fantastic. All your snakes were fantastic. Well done. Hopefully I'm there next year. If I'm not there next year as a vendor, hope to have a stand. If it's not next year, I will be there as a spectator, as part of the crowd, and then I'll definitely have a stand there in 2025. But let's hope I have a stand there next year. So guys, let me pull out 1 or 2 snakes which are pretty special to me right now. All my snakes are special to me right now, but I think you know what, I'm not going to put out my flipping glamorous. I'm going to put out a snake whose life I saved. I'm gonna dedicate this video to a little Axanthic head pied who literally I was told to euthanize. She is deformed. I did not think she would even be able to eat. I'm gonna pull her out now and I'm gonna give you a little story on her. I have done a video on her before, and I'm gonna show you guys now. The reason I want to pull her out is because it's progress. I want you to see what is possible if you don't give up on an animal. Let me just open up her tub here. Alright. This is my little, I'm going to turn the camera down, yeah. This is my little Axanthic. I don't know if she's 66 or 100%. 66% posset pied. Now you can already see, guys, look at that. You see how she twirls around like that, okay? So that's one of the things. She's very whoopy. I'm sorry about the camera, guys. I'm trying to do this with. She's very whoopy. She almost doubles back on herself, and if you stretch her out, you can see she's got a lot of kinks on her body, especially the lower third. Okay, but she's also incredibly beautiful. Her colors, her markings, her patterns. Now when you get to here, she's got 2 really bad bumps. Okay, now, and she's also got a hell of a lump on her head. If you look right at the front there above the eye, you'll see that she's got a lump on her head. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to affect her. It doesn't hurt her. If I touch it, it's quite hard. But when she came out of the egg, and I looked at her, I got a friend of mine that also had a look at her and said, she'll never eat, she'll never poop, she's going to die a slow, painful, horrible death. Just euthanize her. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. And I was lying in bed that night, and I was like, fuck, I can't do this. I can't kill this snake. So I made a deal with myself that night as I lay there in bed, and I thought to myself, if she eats, if I can get her to eat, and she poops, then she's gonna live. I'm gonna make her live. Okay, I don't care how deformed she is, she'll be a pet, but I'm not gonna kill her. I'm gonna give her a chance to live and to eat, even with her neck being like, I mean, look, she can straighten out, don't get me wrong. I mean, she's just, it's almost like a spider, like a really bad spider, but she doesn't do her head well, but it's just that she's got this, she just likes to double back on herself and make that like really hectic air shape. But I mean, she can straighten out, no problem. She just doesn't like it. She's comfortable being in that S position. But what I do with her, well, not every day, but maybe every second day, is I take her out of the tub, and because she's still a hatchling, well, not so much of a hatchling, but she's still very young, and I work her, and I try and straighten these bumps here, and I massage, and I pull them straight, because it helps to form, okay? But yes, she's never going to be perfect, okay? But look at that now. There's her hair. She's not in that whoopee shape again, and that's because I pull her out and I let her move around. Now, so as I lay in bed that night and I was making the decision of whether I was going to kill her the next day or let her live, I decided that I was going to, if she couldn't eat, then I would obviously not, for the sake of the animal, I would euthanize her to spare her from a horribly slow, agonizing death, okay? But if she ate, she'll live. Now, I had to try and assist feed. I started off by trying to assist feed her, and because of her neck being like this, it's very difficult for her to strike, okay? She wasn't born normal, so she's already in this position, so it's unnatural for her to curl back and then strike out straight, like most snakes, because she's always in this, almost seems like she's always in the striking position, and she's in a full circle there, you know, look at that's how she normally is. So for her to now all of a sudden dart out straight to her prey, it's very difficult. So I knew that she wasn't going to take on her own on her first meal. So she wasn't going to have that first natural instinct in her, or she may have the instinct, but she's not going to be able to execute it. And she's not going to know what a rodent tastes like. She's not going to get, once they're on and they're eating, they're good, they're going. So I assist fed her. I had a euthanized mouse jumper or hopper, and I grabbed her like this, much to everybody's dismay, and I put the I'm not going to do it now, I don't want to stress it out, but if you've seen assist and force feeding videos, I've actually done one on it. If you scroll back in my YouTube channel, you'll see this very snake and others that I had to assist and force feed, and they're all alive. And I did that with her for one meal. And then by her second meal, she struck and took it by herself. And guess what, guys? She eats by herself, she poops, she sheds, and she doesn't need any help from me. But she's a little weird, and she's a little messed up, and she's always going to be like that. But she can eat, and she deserves a shot at life. And she's gonna be my little pet. She's gonna grow for sure, but she's always gonna be, I don't know, like Kevin has got schnaufels, his retic, that's like messed up on the face and all that, from mouth rots, I think it was. I've got this little girl. I don't know what I'm gonna call her. I haven't named her yet. All I know is that I didn't take her life, and I'm grateful, and I'm happy to be showing you guys that she's doing well, and that she's, by all intents and purposes, a pretty cool ball python. I mean, as an Axanthic, I mean, she's spectacular. I mean, if you take away the kinks, it reminds me of that John Legend song. What's it? There's a line in there, something about your perfect imperfections, you know. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, she'll do. So she'll live. As long as she's under my roof, she'll be well taken care of. I won't let her go to anybody. If I ever had to let her go to somebody, it would be to somebody that would love her and care for her and accept her for her, but, you know, the way I do. I mean, look how cute that is, eh? Look at that. She's giving me a snake hug, eh? Because she really is. I mean, she's an absolute sweetheart. I think she's made herself at home. She's made like a little totem pole out of my finger. Maybe I should make something. Maybe I should make like her own enclosure with like a pole. She can be a pole dancer. she can wrap herself around a pole like this. She's actually settled into. This is the first time she's ever done this. I think she quite likes this position. Eh? What do you think? Yeah. Alright guys, let me end off here. From me and this beautiful girl, it's over and out. I've still got a good few hours here in the snake room. I've got to clean. Got to get it done, back to work tomorrow. So goodbye from me. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. I know this is probably a really weird video for most of you. Guys, I will put out my really cool snakes, but she's just as cool. She deserves just as much screen time. All animals are special. Guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video. Cheers.